Accept this as presented with heartfelt admiration to Joel Quinn, 2017 Person of the Year, the Jewish Community Foundation of Montreal.
Thank you very much. Oh no, you're going to have to listen to me. Thank you very much, Michael, Jewish Community Foundation, Harold and Winnie for being here. I am indeed humbled to have received this recognition from the Jewish Community Foundation. And this is certainly an evening and an honor which will always be deeply imprinted in my heart. I just want to make a mention of, in reference to Harold Grinspoon, what an inspiration he is. You know that when I've spoken to one or two Rabbunim during the last few years, or 1 or 200 Rabbunim, and there's a common theme that in every Yid, there's a Pintele Yid. In every Jewish person, there's a Pintele Yid, a pinpoint of their Jewishness that just has to be ignited. Well, Harold's is ablaze. Harold's Pintele Yid has been ignited and is blazing wildly for the benefit of the Jewish world. Harold is committed to give away a minimum of half of his fortune. He signed on to the Giving Pledge, but 95% of his philanthropy is to the Jewish world. And that is something I admire tremendously. I am so appreciative of the respect and support shown by family, friends, and colleagues who have either contacted me prior to this evening or who have come here this evening to participate in this meeting. My comments I will attempt to make them brief. However, I did want to make sure to recognize some, and certainly not all, of the people and events in my life which have had a significant impact on me and make me who I am. I was raised, together with my two brothers, Richard and Norman, who are both here this evening, initially by our two wonderful parents, Arthur and Laura, in a warm, caring, and loving home. Our parents were deeply committed to causes of social justice, especially while at McGill University, which they both attended, notwithstanding the Jewish quotas in effect at the time. They both embodied the concept of repairing the world and making it more just for the have-nots. Their ideals were woven into the fabric of our lives, and for that I will be forever grateful. Unfortunately, our mother passed away at the very young age of 32, and our father was left to raise 3 young boys, 1, 4, and 7 years old. The silver lining to this unimaginable tragedy was that our father's mother, Bubby Gisa, who was a real traditional Bubby from the shtetl, came to live with us in order to keep the family unit intact. She was completely attached to her Jewish roots and traditions and spoke often of her experiences in the shtetl and strong Jewish traditions of her entire family. Her love and respect for Jewish tradition, coupled with her acts of selflessness, were keenly absorbed by me and form a part of who I am. My two brothers were an integral part of the warmth and love that filled our home. They are both moral, kind, and considerate individuals who are imbued with the same sense of social justice that our parents had. They provide a moral compass for any issue that is sensitive and not clear-cut. And I can say with all honesty that I don't recall there ever having been a harsh or mean word exchanged amongst us for as long as I can remember. Once when we were teenagers, finally, our father did remarry, and our stepmother, Hinda, was, like our father, committed to the concept of tikkun olam. She was also a great lover of Israel, and her ideals, together with those of our father, continued to permeate our home. That leads me to the Heimer family, Marlene's parents, Ben and Blossom, and her sister Gloria. They accepted me as a son and brother and never treated me as anything less than that. They treated me as a full member of their family. They loved me unconditionally as I did them. Ben and Blossom both exemplified excellence and success in the business world. They showed that with financial success comes the privilege of giving back to and supporting community. Their examples of giving back, both in time and money, made an impression on me, and I am grateful that I'm able to follow their examples in performing the mitzvah of tzedakah. It is obviously very hard to single out non-familial relationships. However, there is one that I have to mention, and that is my relationship with my friend and law partner, Max Haberkorn, which endured from our initial meeting in law school in 1968 until his unfortunate passing this past February. There is definitely a part of his sense of humor and gregarious personality that has become a part of me. And then there is the little-known debt, but probably the largest debt I have, to the Montreal Urban Transportation Commission. Yes, that's right, the people who run our buses and metros.
Yeah.
And I am so indebted to them. They are not generally seen as the beneficiary of the public's affection, but I am the exception. You see, because of the high cost of bus fare, especially to a student working with a weekly allowance of between $5 and $10, it was much more cost-effective to hitchhike to and from McGill University. And it was because of that hitchhiking that I got to meet the love of my life, Marlene. If not for the MUCTC, we might never have crossed paths. This past summer, we celebrated 48 years of marriage, for which I am and will be eternally grateful. Marlene has been a stalwart supporter for whatever I've undertaken. She is a partner with me in our family philanthropy and is a great sounding board for whatever ideas may present themselves. Together, we have produced a wonderful family of 3 daughters, Gail, Stephanie, and Bonnie, and their wonderful husbands, Jason, Dan, and Richie. These 3 delightful couples have so far brought us 4 incredible grandchildren, and another one incredibly soon. It's anybody's guess. These children and grandchildren form the core of the warm, caring, and loving family that I have always dreamed of having. They have shown me the real definition of being able to possess an infinite amount of love. Marlene, the children and grandchildren represent the essence of the richness that I feel has been accorded to me. There was also a certain life-changing event which I feel I must mention, especially because it had such a deep impact on both Marlene and me. I'm referring to a Jewish community-sponsored mission to Israel, which we participated in 1993.